Welcome back to Rules of Engagement Developing Fundamentals. We've just gone over Economy Basics Part 2, Micro Basics Part 2, Build Order Concepts Part 2. Now we're on to the question and answer segment. Of course, the reason these are all Part 2 is because this is the second episode of Developing Fundamentals. If you want to catch the first one in case you missed it, go to mlg.tv under Rules of Engagement. You can look through all the VODs. You'll eventually, there's ton of Rules Engagement episodes, but you can find whichever ones you enjoy the most, or better yet, just watch them all. They're all great content. Also, now we're going to answer the questions that were sent to me on Twitter to @ISAxLab. And also, guys, don't forget, if you want your replays to be featured on Thursday's Community Critique episode, go ahead and go to www.majorleaguegaming.com/replays. Fill out that form. It's a very quick form. Just says you entered a replay, give a short description about it, say what race you played, then hit submit, and we can look at those replays on Thursday. But let's actually get to some of these questions. So the first question is going to be, from @Borstein. Okay, the question is, a lot of Terrans are going for quick 3 CCs, that stands for Command Center, placed within the main. Do you think a macro nexus placed in your main could be, the next part is viable in competitive play? And, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why people might think this, right? Let's talk about the benefits of a macro command center and why that's used. It allows you to produce a lot of extra SCVs, okay? And then allows you to get extra mules. That's 2 great things. And then the third great thing is whenever you feel comfortable, you can lift that baby up, throw it, and you can take your expansion very, very fast. So there's basically, for Zerg and Protoss, let's say you have to have control the area by your third base before you can take your third base, right? So you have to go there, you take control. Once that area is safe to build on, you start a Nexus. 100 seconds later, you have your base. Terran with the CC and the main idea, they can just lift up and go there to instantly get control. No need to wait 100 seconds to let that building complete. Only a few seconds to fly that command center over, and they can start mining immediately. So that's why it's so good. Now we can look at the advantages of Protoss, right? You don't get that advantage. You can't move your Nexus, so that's a huge ability right there. You don't get Mules. You get Chrono Boost. Mules give you 180 minerals a minute. Chrono Boost makes one of your buildings on average build. You can make a building construct 50% faster, but you can only do that half the time because you don't have energy to keep it going full time off a Nexus. So overall, it's 25% production boost to one building. So it's not worth it at all, game just for Chrono Boost. I mean, if you want to Chrono Boost your gateways, you can build a $400 million Nexus. That's the effectiveness of adding 1/4 extra gateway, right? You might as well just add one more gateway for 150 minerals. It's 4 times more effective production-wise. A little bit better. Of course, Chrono Boost is great on certain things like upgrades, but you don't need more than a couple Nexuses to keep that going. And then the next part we're going to talk about, or the last part, is the building workers part. So Protoss naturally Chrono Boost workers early in the game. So Protoss is going to be faster building workers than their Terran counterparts, and even without that third Nexus, you're actually going to be in a situation where you're going to saturate your bases very quickly if you're on top of your macro. So that extra Nexus production doesn't really help you much at all. It's kind of, you can use it as a crutch if your macro is messing up, but that's almost counterproductive in the long run. Of course, it's spending 400 minerals on it. So I would advise not to go 3. I would not to get an extra Nexus inside your main base for those reasons. It's just not very efficient compared to the command center. Let's get to one other quick question. Let me move it over here. Okay, so here's a question. This question is going to be from Ponchmeiste. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Build orders to follow up standard 1-gate Expo in PvT. Maybe 3 like Colossi and Double Forge and 1 Forge Twilight. So basically, what potential build orders can you follow up your 1-gate expansion? So in current play, there's really, unless they're doing the Mass Warp Gate Olin, which is actually a very popular and very strong build order. You can go watch some pro replays to do that, but Mass just add in, you basically stay on 2 gas normally. You add in about 5, 6, 7 more warp gates, depending how, the exact timing of your build. You just build a bunch of gateway units and then you go kill your opponent. That's a great follow-up. The most standard follow-up always starts with the same thing. You 1-gate expand, you get 2 more gateways, so up to 3 gateways total. Then you get your second gas at your main, and then you get a robotics facility. And then after that, that's where it tends to diverge a lot. You can get 2 forges, and then you can follow those forges up with either Twilight or a robotics support bay. You can get a single forge and a Twilight to go relatively fast ETs. You can go just a Twilight and then you can go for a DT drop using that robotics. Those are a couple of the main options, but basically always follow it up with 2 more gateways, then your second gas, and then your robotics facility, so you can get observers out there, very important. And then you can diverge into Colossi or Templar, however you like. It's not actually that important. The most important thing is that first initial follow-up makes you safe from any type of timing Tyrann throws at you, keeps your economy going, and gives you a good tech structure base to work off of. So that's it for the question and answer segment of today's episode. Of course, if you guys have more questions or if any answers, just feel free to tweet me constantly, and of course I'll answer them next episode most likely, or I might answer them just on Twitter with a reply. Also, feel free to email me replays at majorleaguegaming.com/replays for Thursday's episode. I hope you enjoyed this show. Tune in again tomorrow for Mechanics of the Bazaar, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern.